Hey yo, welcome to the QB School Live. Do it live, do it light, little Friday edition. Why not? Excited here to get in here, talk some ball, see who we got checking in early. As always, as you come in to the live, do me a favor, hit the like button. Let me know that I sound all right. Hit me in the comments. Engage in this thing. It makes it a lot more fun for me. Hopefully you enjoyed as well. Get some good questions out of this as we go. But excited to talk some ball on Friday. This thing can go anywhere and everywhere. Nobody feels better than a little June football prep. So excited for this one. We got Pay in the house. Hey, Tiago, talking about the Chiefs secondary. I got no thoughts, bro. Sorry. Luke. Hey, JT, do you think you could explain how to use your eyes at quarterback? Luke, this is an excellent question. I like this a lot. This can be a gradual evolution of tethered to your confidence playing quarterback. There's a lot of different ways to use your eyes. I think the first place to start is to make sure that your eyes are in the correct spot. So they're where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. So if your first read is to the left, you're looking to the left. Boom. Okay? If your first read is to the middle, boom, you're back. Blurry or not. This idea being that you want to be able to make sure that your eyes, you're looking where you're supposed to look when you're supposed to look for the timing of most passes. The other part about that is that your eyes, usually been told, lead your feet, so that if you're going through a progression, you want your eyes to kind of lead you as you go through this thing. And so to make sure that your eyes are not going to the wrong spot or kind of maybe getting you in trouble by hanging too long on something, if you're supposed to be in a rhythm offense where your feet and hitches are tethered to the passing concepts. And then I think most people think of eye manipulation or eye effing someone by kind of looking someone off or kind of like deking someone to the side and coming back and messing with the zone defender. The other part about eyes that I kind of gradually learned as I played more is that if it's man coverage, really doesn't matter where your eyes are, unless you're trying to get something down the field that has a safety that doesn't have a man technically in coverage, then you're responsible for that. But if it's zone coverage, you want to use your shoulders and eyes as much as you can if they're looking at you. But if the defender's not looking at you, you don't have to look them off. You can look where you're supposed to look and make sure your eyes are in the right spot to make sure you're lined up and put the ball exactly where you want. That's an outstanding question. Luke, you like to move the defense, so you're head of the game, my guy. The only thing I think I would add is just making sure that you know when you're supposed to move the defense and when you can maximize moving the defense versus just looking people off to make your life more difficult if you're playing quarterback. Good question. Ba-boom. What else we got here? As we get going here, do me a favor. If you haven't already, please check out the Quarterback School Quick Game course. Nice, easy way to get some Quarterback School content for free. And then again, we've got the Quarterback School Patreon community, which is really the foundation, the bedrock of the channel. So great way to support the channel. I appreciate it. What else we got here? All right, we've got 27 of our closest friends here hanging out on a little midday Friday edition talking ball. I always think of June as kind of like the official start to crazy 7-on-7 season. And at least out here in California, every school is a little bit different about when they take their break. But depending on when you take your break, high school football wise, you can be ramped up. You start doing tournaments. You start playing against other teams, which is kind of fun, as long as that 7-on-7 is overlaid into stuff that you actually will do in the fall. Tommy, appreciate you checking out the Patreon. The Patreon has got, what's the next video coming your way? Jaden Daniels. Pretty good game, pretty fun game. I remember the game because I broke it down for Bryce Young, the Alabama versus LSU game. LSU comes back, beats them in overtime with the 2-point conversion. That game is coming your way soon. Not sure if I'll get it done today or tomorrow or Monday, but it'll be done soon. It's a fun one. It's pretty good. I mean, I thought Jaden Daniels, I remember Jaden Daniels a lot at Arizona State, like watching those late ASU games at night. But I haven't seen him play that much recently. And so it was nice to get back into seeing him kind of impact the game with his feet and how they were able to throw the ball a little bit. Boom. All right, what else we got here? Oh, spring ball just ended. There you go, Tommy. Nice. We'll enjoy the 2 weeks off before you get into the 7-on-7 season. Trevor Youngman, I'm playing in kind of a dinosaur system. Bummer this year. So how do you deal with playing when you don't have a ton of confidence in the play design? First of all, I would tread lightly with those coaches, Trevor. And I definitely wouldn't mention it as a dinosaur system to them. You're welcome. I think I would do my best to master that system, do exactly what they're asking me to do. And then as you build confidence, maybe gently suggest, hey, you think about doing this, or I saw this, I think we would be good at this. Or over the course of summer, working out some ideas saying, hey, we're trying to work this option route or choice route or combat, whatever you want to throw. Or what about some play action shots and different ways to integrate what their system is into maybe what you want to do. But that's not an easy situation to get into, that's for sure. Nolan, do you do any coaching? Yes, I coach Little League Baseball for my sons. Do not do any football coaching right now or any time in the future, I don't think. Tommy, can we get a Bo Nix video? I mean, my problem is, and maybe I just need to give him a new, fresh look. I remember Bo Nix at Auburn, and maybe he's gotten a lot better since then. I'm sure I will do it at some point. I'm not rushing to find as much Oregon film as I possibly can right now. Sevi, in youth football like 7-on-7, if the wide receivers don't or can't get separation, what would you recommend for your quarterback to do? I would recommend for him to get new wide receivers. That's tough. The first thing I would do is I would tell your quarterback or the coach of that team to maybe think about getting some like stack formations or some like motion, something where we can like get some cheap wins at the line of scrimmage to create some separation. There's not a whole lot of easy things to do other than trying to do those types of like gimmicky things with smoke and mirrors as far as crossers, maybe some double moves. But I think of it as stacked formations, formation people, use motion, use some shifts, maybe even to be able to kind of get some miscommunication matchups so that maybe you don't have people just getting overwhelmed at the line of scrimmage because they can't separate or get off any sort of press. Boom. Thiago, you don't want to know what I think about the NBA Finals. I actually haven't watched a game live. I watched a lot of playoffs, but I just haven't quite hooked up with watching the NBA Finals live. I'm sure I will at some point. JC Flowers, how much more difficult is the game for a quarterback with a revolving door of receivers versus quarterbacks with staple receivers? I think this is a really good question just about the stability. If you want to talk about wide receiver stability, you could really overlay this with any unit of the offense, and I would even go into coaching staffs. I think stability helps a quarterback a lot. I think that the ability to just be comfortable with people, with being able to read body language of eligibles, of wide receivers, of having expectations already built the foundation for what the expectations are for, off-season work, for in-camp, for practice, for preparation, for getting your body right, for in-game, for, end of game, for situational ball. All those things compound, in my opinion, to help quarterbacks improve and get better together. I think of it as like a mutually beneficial relationship with your wide receivers to be able to be on the same page, and that comfort of knowing, hey, I trust this guy to be where he's supposed to be when he's supposed to be there and not fool the quarterback. I think goes a long way to just easing a quarterback's anxiety with kind of having to play with new players, as opposed to walking into a huddle in a preseason and having to introduce yourself to someone who they just signed off the streets. Those types of things are not a great recipe to have a whole lot of success playing quarterback. And so I think it definitely matters, but I think it matters for every unit, not just wide receivers. But that's an excellent question. Appreciate it. Boom. Michael. Cheers, my guy. I'm not drinking anything special. See if we can crank through some good questions here. Oh, man. Forktail, that's a big question that I don't really have any thoughts on other than ones that I've already poked fun at. I appreciate it. Thomas, checking in from Vienna, Australia. Appreciate it. Most of the old NFL Europe teams are back in the European League. I know, man. I need to get over there. You got to get a hold of those people. Get me over there. I'll do some color for those games. Have you ever heard about the league, and do you have any advice for the European players? Definitely have heard about the league. I don't know enough. Hopefully you don't call it ELF. I don't know enough about it. I have heard that many of them are back. People have sent me stuff about certain teams. I always get excited when I see the Galaxy anywhere. So that part of it is cool. I think it's very cool that the game continues to try to grow internationally. I know that some American football fans, for whatever reason, struggle with that. I love the games abroad. I think it's really cool to see the game try to catch on in different pockets of the world. It's a tough game for a lot of different reasons. But as far as any advice for European players, just keep playing. Feel like there are a lot of good resources available now. Hopefully you think this channel is one of them, but it's not the only one by any means. And there's a lot of good ways to continue to kind of grow the game, grow your understanding, elevate your football IQ, and then just keep playing as long as you can and have a blast with it. Tag me on some videos. I want to see what you guys got. Joe Hebert. Oh, baby, you're going to try to get me in trouble with this one. What are your thoughts on the validity of high school recruit ranking services such as 24/7? Oh, baby. I'll call it the STAR system, and I'll also admit that I don't know like the inner workings of it. I can tell you that from my limited experience coaching high school football for 3 years, I thought the STAR system was somewhat / mostly inadequate. I think that there's like some sort of different ratings as far as what you get at one place versus a composite score, and those things kind of being a little not always consistent. I don't pretend to know the inner workings. My overall gist is if you're good, it's pretty easy to see that you're good on film or at a camp. And that's coming from someone who thought they were better than they were in high school. So I get it, being frustrated with people thinking that you're being slept on. I get it. But it's not hard now as an old guy to go to a camp and be like, that guy's pretty good, that guy's pretty good. Oh yeah, he's a whatever star, he's going here, he's a commit here. Like, yeah, thanks. So I get it. It could be frustrating when you're in it. I don't have any really thoughts about like how to make it better or any other thing other than the fact that to just go out there, continue to improve. It's not easy when you see guys getting offers all over the place and you feel like you're not getting any sort of attention. I don't have any great suggestions other than the fact that keep your head down, keep working, and hopefully you get some interest as you continue to improve your game. Boom. Riker Gaming 21 coming in with the super chat. Love it. Appreciate it. Let's see what you got here. In a game with physical freaks like Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, etc., are quarterbacks like Burrow, who doesn't have elite physical traits but still has considered elite, going to become more anomalies in terms of how teams scout draft QBs? I would say that Joe Burrow maybe isn't quote unquote like a freakish athlete, but I'm not sure. Well, I think he's more athletic than people think, and just because he's not a freak of freaks at the top of the NFL quarterback position doesn't mean he's not a great athlete. He is a great athlete. He's got some unique savviness to his pocket movement, probably, in my opinion, the best in the league. Will it be more anomalies? I think it will continue to be harder to play the position if you're not a great athlete, just because younger levels have been allowing the best athlete to play quarterback, as opposed to back in the day, maybe the best athlete played running back or played linebacker. Those days are done, in my opinion, for the most part. It doesn't mean that it never happens, just happens less frequently now. The best athlete's going to play quarterback, probably should be playing quarterback because they touch the ball the most. It makes sense. I always thought it made sense. So yeah, there'll probably be less and less pure pocket type guys, but I think Joe Athlete. There you go, a little Freudian slip. Joe's a better athlete than maybe people think when you think just old school pure pocket passer guys like Manning and Brady back in the day. I think he's a much better athlete than those guys. No offense to those guys, but Joe can move a little bit more than that. Doesn't mean he's going to go out and run power read or zone read, but he can get up the field. He can create, and again, I think he's got some great pocket presence. So yeah, yes, probably is the answer, but we'll see. Oh, Maisha in the house. Hope all is well with you and yours. Tell your boy I said what's up. Hey, yo. All right, a little Friday light. We're going to keep this one light. So if there are questions that you have, now is the time. Certainly enjoy y'all hanging out. We got 42 of our closest friends in here just talking a little ball, talk a little June-ish. I feel like I haven't seen the sun for a while here in San Diego, so hopefully y'all are enjoying some great summer weather wherever the hell you are. Derek Williamson, hey JT, have you thought of maybe reviewing some XFL film? I thought maybe about it for like 5 seconds, and then I decided no. But I would, if I could get guys like my guy Bruce Gradkowski to send me some All-22. If I had the All-22, I would think about it if it was happening like in real time, like I could do it like following their championship game or following like a opening weekend or something. I don't know if I would go back and like do it postseason. I don't really care that much. Or if I knew the quarterback, like if Luis Perez sent me his video, like the All-22, I would think about doing it. Although he'd probably get mad at me. I doubt it. He's pretty good. Boom. Taserface in the house. Taserface, you like how I got a nickname for your nickname? Oh, man. Happy Friday out there. Hey, Zeus. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Tommy, I'm dealing with the recruiting question. We had a QB tweet himself 2 stars. Additional, also 2 stars? Definitely not worth a star. I mean, I get it that when you're in it, it's really hard to disassociate yourself from that kind of star game. I really do understand and empathize with the guys going through it because it's crazy frustrating, especially if you've never been on the other side of it or seen it from maybe a different lens as far as like a college recruiter or someone like myself who kind of like is a football content person who has a chance to kind of look at the holistic kind of game at a bunch of different stages and layers. But I mean, none of that shit matters, man. Really, at the end of the day, even if you're a 5-star guy, it might get you a little bit more attention now. But I'm telling you, they're not going to care on Sundays what your stars are. They're not going to care in game on Saturdays what your stars are. They're just not. I'm sure the recruiting people won't like me saying that, and the recruiting websites like to do their kind of Stargate, but the players don't give a shit. As soon as you're out there, if you can help the team, you can help the team. Defuse recoil. Hey JT, do you see Lamar Jackson throwing the ball significantly more this season in Todd Monken's new offense? Defuse. I mean, what did I see today on Twitter? I saw now Lamar Jackson's got the ability to kind of change protections at the line of scrimmage. What a novel idea that is. I mean, yeah, depending on what you determine as significant, I would say I'm hopeful that that's the case. I would hope that it's more. I would think it would be hard to not do more, and that's no shade on anyone in particular. I just feel like as he continues to get older and they get better players on the perimeter, wherever they're now investing, it feels like on the perimeter a little bit more substantially, that you should see a significant increase in his ability to, throw the ball, numbers of throws per game. That makes sense to me. I think the game has evolved there for a long time. I think the more interesting kind of twist to that question is, if that's the case and he's now substantially throwing the ball more, how do they overlay what they were with what they are moving forward? So can they interweave the quarterback run game, the heavy sets, with more of a spread look, with more of a down the field throw? Because I don't think you throw one out without the other. I think you want elements of that. You want some of that because it is so unique and they were so good at it. So you don't want to get rid of it, but you want to expand. You want to evolve. You want to adapt. You want to be more flexible in the other elements of it and have a more robust passing game, I think is fair. And I think if I was Lamar Jackson, I would want the same thing. And so what that looks like without getting rid of the rest is the delicate balance to me. It's not going to be that hard to go in and overlay a more comprehensive passing game. Anything at the NFL level would be a more comprehensive passing game, jokes aside. So how they overlay that with what they are, what they have been, what they've had so much success with, that will be where I'm kind of looking for that sweet spot for Monken and company. Good question, though. Boom. I see my guy, Thomas Gage, in the house. Thomas Gage, what do you expect from Fields this year with DJ Moore, full year of Claypool, and hopefully Mooney, and the additions to the O-line in context of a dual-threat quarterback people want to read faster? Thomas, I'm not as sold on that perimeter as maybe some people are. I don't know. I don't really live in like the diehard Bears fan circles of what it's looked like this offseason. I think DJ Moore is a nice upgrade. I'm still confused about what and how they got Claypool for what they did. It never made sense to me. I hope that he is the value that they got him for. Hopefully Mooney is able to contribute at the same level. And then you look for, absolutely, there should be some growth in what we see from that offense, from what we see from Justin Fields, from the operation of playing quarterback at the NFL level. And he's got to be the same dynamic dude. And it can be all of those things, and I don't think the expectation should be anything less. Now, will it look perfect right out the gate? No. Should we expect it to? Hell no. But I expect it to continue to improve consistently, and I want to see the improvement be in chunks, not one-off splashes, not that it was one-off splashes before, but just a little bit more consistency in the ability to move the ball from the pocket, from the drop back game, creating more space on the perimeter with hopefully some better weapons. But to think that's a great perimeter when you look across the landscape of the league, I don't think so. Now, hopefully I'm wrong for all you Bear fans, but only time will tell. Boom. Nolan, I've seen you a couple times in the chat. Ask me this question. I don't really know, bro. What other quarterbacks are you most intrigued by in college football this year? Just recency bias from my own channel. I'm going to say Spencer Rattler, maybe Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels. I'm sure that there are others. The dude from Kansas, is he still there? We'll see. I'm interested to see what happens at Alabama. The dude from San Diego is down there now. The guy transferred from Notre Dame, Tyler Buckner. We'll see who ends up playing down there. Interested in seeing what happens at Texas. Is Quinn Ewers the guy who was the guy in the first quarter of the Alabama game, or is Arch Manning in there early? It'll be fascinating to see that. I'm sure that there are other quarterbacks that I'll grow to enjoy, but at the top of my list, it's Caleb Williams. I've tried to do the Drake May thing, and again, I admit when I don't get it right away, I think he's very good. I don't think he's anywhere close to what I've seen on film from Caleb Williams. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to watch more before the season starts. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to watch Drake May when the season starts. And I want to see him out of a Longo system, that's for sure. But we'll see. Around the 412, the dude at Tulane. All right. I don't have Tulane film, but if I did, I would look at it. All right, y'all. If you got any more locked in questions, we're going to tidy this thing up. Again, Friday, do it light. Friday, do it light, do it right. And we're on to the next. Oh, Alexander Wilson coming in hot right as I was trying to slide out. Alexander, as a QB, what are the components that make a person a good QB position coach in the NFL? Ooh, I like this one. So what makes a good quarterback position coach in the NFL can be a few different things. And I don't think there's one kind of cookie cutter template for what this looks like. I think at the end of the day, it's a combination of really a few different factors. First, you have to provide value to the quarterback, to the guy who's playing, to the quarterback room. So the preparation element matters. You're the final filter that goes from the staff, the coordinator, the install, to the quarterback. You have the most interaction with the quarterback in film, practice, everything. So that final filter, that final messaging, I think can really be fine-tuned from a quarterback coach. And it's a combination of colleague, brother, counselor, teacher, administrator, babysitter. It can be all of those roles. And so it's got to be able to be fluctuating with what lens you're providing to that quarterback and really the quarterback room in general. I think at the end of the day, if you're a great teacher and you are providing information that allows your quarterback to thrive consistently with nuggets and details that allow them to play at a high level and push them towards their best and allow them to thrive in the most crucial moments, I think you got a great opportunity to be a really good quarterback coach. And it comes from a number of different places, mostly an understanding holistically of what you're trying to do offensively, team-wise. You've got to be a great communicator, but at the same time, you've got to be a truth teller. You can't be kind of a bullshit artist because most of those cats can smell the bullshit from a mile away. And so just being able to be honest, but be transparent and be able to provide significant value to the guy who's playing so that they feel like they're as prepared as they possibly could be to go out there and have a great performance every single week. It's a good one. Appreciate the question, Alex. Oh, man. See a few more questions here pop up here. Let me see if there's anything. Thomas, I see you there trying to rationalize it. Hey, bro, I hope I'm wrong about Claypool. I really am. I hope he goes in there and balls out. I really am. I've been wrong before. I no doubt about it will be wrong many times in the future. I'm just not sure I'm wrong on this one, but it's a maybe. All right. I appreciate you all hanging out. Again, hit the like. If you haven't got your question in, now is the time. I'm going to give it a hot second. If there's not anything left, we're going to be on to the next, on to a beautiful weekend. Got a lot of Little League baseball going on out here, some all-star season, and that's it, man. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Again, the next Patreon video will be on Jaden Daniels, and then we'll go from there. Ball in the house. Good luck with that. We'll see. All right. Thanks, y'all, for hanging out. I'll see you on the other side.